It's recording.
It's recording.
Morning.
Morning.
No.
Hello.
We're missing
All right.
someone.
First
We're
thing
missing
to do
Karen.
today is we're going to check our homework, which was on page 433. So open up your book to 433.
433. Let me go get my math book. Where is that?
I have no idea, but
I'm on the couch.
wait, who
I have
are
no
we?
idea where my math book is.
Missing
Yay.
Brooklyn Connor.
Okay,
Oh, wait,
so
we're
page
missing David Ann.
433, and mute your microphones. Reminder to mute yourselves. Okay, I'm going to share my screen so you can check your work.
Math book. Math book, math book, math book, math book. I don't have my math book. Where the heck is it?
Connor, mute your microphone and keep it muted unless I call on you.
What?
I can't mute it because I'm away from my computer right now. I'm walking around trying to find my math book.
Okay.
What page was it? It was 4 something.
433. All right, and I'm sharing my screen, so you should be able to see the answer key for your homework. All right, check your work. Circle anything that you might not have correct. All right, and then I'll take questions after everyone has gone through and checked. So I'll give you a few minutes to go through and check your homework.
Wait, I put 1/2 for number 4. Is that okay since it's the same as 4/8?
Yes. Yep. Yasha, it's okay. It's even better than okay. Okay, because 1/2 is in simplest terms.
Okay.
So
I got all
you
of
took
that.
it a step further than they did. So good job.
Yeah, I wrote what I got and then I put like a dash and then I put it in simplest form.
Good.
Is your shirt inside out, Mrs. Palmer?
It is. And my jacket.
Oh.
Like, I can't put my hands in my pockets. I'm all inside out. Are you guys inside out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Palmer, I have a question.
Yes, Taryn.
For number, I think it's number 6, I think.
Okay.
I put 4 1/3.
Good. Yep, that's good, Taryn. So you got 4 and 2/6 and you simplified it to 4 1/3. Perfect. I like that.
What page was for homework?
And Mrs. Palmer, I just have my pajamas on backwards.
Oh, nice.
Miss Palmer, how is number 8 2?
2/3, 5ths done.
1/2 minus 1/2 is nothing. And
No,
then
but I
10,
said 10 minus 8 equals 2 minus 1/2 equals 1.
no, it's
Minus
10
1
and a
equals
half.
1.
You do 1/2 minus 1/2 first, and that's nothing.
Oh,
And then
okay.
10 minus 8 is 2. Okay.
6.
All right. Does anyone have any other questions on those?
No.
Okay.
Number 6, I put 2 and 1/3, and then I put I put 2 and 1/3.
It's 4 and 1/3.
Oh.
Okay, because you borrowed from the 8 and made it a 7, and 7 minus 3 is 4. And if you took 2/6 and simplified it to 1/3, that's good. So 4 and 1/3 is good. Okay. Does anyone need that up longer?
No. Wait, I can't even see anything.
You have to pin Mrs. Palmer so you can see me, like my screen. Who can't see it? Gavin, was that you?
Yeah, I can't see it.
You can't see my screen?
Nope.
Yash, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Gavin, I'm not sure why you can't see my screen.
Oh, now I can. I figured it out. I had you pinned.
Oh, you have to unpin me?
Yeah, can I just have some time to take a look at it?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm good.
Good. Okay. So we're going to do the next page. Sorry. Oops. Okay. Number 1, let me have Sod read number 1 for me.
Reggie is making a double layer cake. The recipe for the first layer calls for 2 1/4 cups of sugar. The recipe for the second layer calls for 1 1/4 cups of sugar. Reggie has 5 cups of sugar. How much would he have left after making both recipes?
Okay, so we have a multi-step there. All right, tell me what we should do.
So first we have to add 2 1/4 plus 1 1/4.
Okay. And I'm going to add those up. All right.
That is 3 2/4.
Okay.
And now we have to subtract 3 2/4 from 5.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So now we have
2 2/4.
good. All right. He's going to, well, you have to borrow from the 5, right? And make it a 4.
Yeah.
All right. And then you had 4/4 minus 2/4
Yeah.
and 4 minus 3.
Oh, 1 2/4.
Good. And I'm going to reduce my 2/4 to a half.
Mrs. Palmer, this is on number 1, right?
This is number 1.
Wait,
Uh,
Miss Palmer, why do you have to borrow?
Okay.
1
Why do you have to
2/4.
borrow?
1 2/4 is the answer, right?
1 1/2 is the answer.
Oh yeah, 1 1/2.
Okay,
Right.
we had to borrow because we had 5 minus 3 2/4. We had 5 and nothing. So we had to borrow from the 5 and make it a 4 and 4/4.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's look back
Can I
at that.
put in number 2?
Let's look at the next, or let's look at that page. Number 2. Okay,
try
number 2. I'm actually going to have Taryn read number 2.
Sorry, I was on mute. Katie has 4, 3, and 3 8 yards of fabric and needs 2 and 7 8 yards to make a skirt. How much extra fabric will she have after making the skirt? So 4 and 3 8
Mm-hmm.
minus 2 and 7.
Good.
Okay, so take out of the 4, 3.
All right, so you're going to borrow from the 4 and make it a 3, right?
Yep.
And what are you going to make your numerator?
Wouldn't it be either? Oh wait, isn't it 7 or no?
Add your top and bottom together.
So 8 and 3.
Yep, add that together.
11.
Yep.
So 11.
Okay, can you guys see my whiteboard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so good.
No.
You changed it to 11, and now you're subtracting.
No, I don't see your whiteboard.
Well, I just put it down. What did you get when you subtracted, Taryn?
3 7/8.
Well, 11/8 minus 7/8. What's 11/8 minus 7/8?
Oh, so 4 8s.
Good. And 3 minus 2?
1.
So 1 4/8.
So couldn't it be 1.5?
Yeah. So we're going to say that equals 1.5. And was the unit yards?
Yes.
Okay, 1.5 yards. Let's check it out. Good. All right, number 1 was 1.5 cups, and 2 is 1.5 yards. All right, number 3, Gavin. Can you read that for us?
Yeah, I just forgot a label on number 1.
Oh, okay. Yep, you labeled
Okay.
cups. Good.
What is that? Puglia?
Paulo. Paulo.
Paulo has 128 glass beads to use to decorate picture frames. He wants to use the same number of beads on each frame. If he decorates 8 picture frames, how many beads will he put on each frame?
All right. Do I want to add, subtract, multiply, or divide, Gavin?
Divide.
Good. Okay, we're going to divide 128 by 8. And you'll end up with 16 beads. Okay, 128 divided by 8. 16 beads. Connor, will you read number 4?
Madison is making party favors. She wants to make enough party favors so each gets the same number of favors. She knows there will be 6 or 8 guests at the party. What is the least number of party favors Madison should make? 6.
She wants to make enough favors so each guest gets the same number of favors. There will be. You want to find the least common multiple of 6 and 8 for those. So if she has 6 party favors, then
24.
24. Let's take a look. 24 party favors. You got it, Connor.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, a question like that, it's asking you for least common multiple.
Miss Palmer.
Yeah,
Can I go to the restroom, please?
sure. David S., could you read number 5?
Yep. A shuttle bus makes 4 round trips between 2 shopping centers each day. The bus holds 24 people. If the bus is full on each one-way trip, how many passengers are carried by the bus each day? So round trip is like there and back, right?
Yep.
So that's 8 trips
Good.
times 24. So 24, 8, 32, 60, 192 passengers.
Good. All right, Connor did 24 times 8. And he remembered to multiply by
Nope.
8.
There's David S.
David.
Oh, sorry, David S., yes, because he said round trip. Good. David C., could you read number 6?
No, wait, it says one-way trip. If the bus is full on each one-way trip.
1 3/4 cup of diced peaches with 2 1/4 cups diced pears. How many cups of peaches and pears are in the fruit salad? You have to add
Good. We're going to add 1 3/4 plus 2 1/4.
Miss Palmer, though.
And
Connor,
then you
stop.
get three cups of peaches and pears.
Did you add the 3/4 plus 1/4?
Yeah,
And what did you get?
4/4.
Good. And did you add the 1 plus 2?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
What did you get?
Oh yeah, I was supposed to get 4 cups.
4 cups. Good. Yeah, because you have to add that 4/4 on. Let's do a check. Good job. 192 passengers and 4 cups.
Miss Palmer, now may I say something?
Yeah, I know. You were saying one way. It says that the bus is full each way. That's all it's saying. So it makes 4 round trips.
But you
So
said
that-
a round way. No, it makes 4 one-way trips.
No, it doesn't make 4 one-way trips. It makes 4 round trips. But it's just saying each time it goes one way, it's full. So they could just read that sentence and just say the bus is always full.
Oh, I wasn't looking up, but when I looked up, it said the shuttle
Yeah.
shuttle bus makes 4 round trips. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it a little tricky.
Okay.
There's the work for those. Good work,
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on to the next section. So I want you to look at page 436.
436.
I'll
Page
go.
436, where it says share and show.
Oh no.
Number 4.
You think we could do before?
This is gonna make your brain like. If you forget one step, you have to go all the way back, and you're like, wait a minute.
I know, right?
The problem is we already know how to do this.
And
Exactly.
Endless self-pity.
Okay.
I know, it's so hard.
I know.
Look at Mrs. Palmer's going through and remuting everyone who is unmuted. Okay, so go ahead and remute yourself. Okay, we're going to start out by together looking at number 2. Okay, number 2 is 2 7/8 plus 3 2/8 plus 1 1/8. Okay.
Can I do that one?
Mrs. Palmer, is this like a review?
Oh no.
You have not done this with fractions before, so I would say no. I mean, it's a review of commutative and associative, but I have news for you, gang. You're going to review that again in 5th grade, and you're going to review it again in 6th grade.
But Mrs. Palmer, all you have to do is the same way we learned in addition, but simply with fractions rules. There's nothing really different about this.
You're subtracting. Let's explore how to use the properties of addition and mental math to add fractions.
Okay, actually, before we do number 2, I want you to look at this one.
First, look at the addends. Are there any fractions that have a sum of 1?
All right, David N. I want you to look at each of these terms. They're called addends. Are there any that if we put the fraction part together, it would give us a sum of 1?
3/10 and 7/10 make 10/10.
Right. 3/10 and 7/10 have a sum of 1. Change the order of the addends. Put the numbers with the fraction parts that add to 1 next to each other.
Okay, so what they want us to do in this section is organize
Which property
things.
did you use to change the order of the addends?
What property is that called when you change the order, David N? Is that associative or commutative, changing order?
Geez. I do believe it is. No, I think it's associative, right?
That's not it.
Really?
Commutative means you change the order.
Yeah, I typically.
Associative's when you move the parentheses around.
Yeah, normally I just do the problem. Okay then, good to know.
The same. The next step is to group the addends together that you will add first, which shows the new grouping and the property you use to change the grouping.
Okay, now we're going to use associative. We're going to change the grouping. And it's like David N said, we want to put 2 3/10 and 7/10 together.
Grouping of the addends. Now use mental math to add 2 3/10 plus 7/10.
All right, David N, what is 2 3/10 plus 7/10?
2 3/10 plus 7/10 is 3, plus 4 and wait. 2 and 3/10 plus 7/10 is 3, plus 4 and 6/10
Finally,
is 9.
Sum of
is-
3 plus 4 and 6/10.
What?
All right, what do you think the final answer is, David?
Do you want the final answer?
Yep, I'm ready for it.
Okay. So 7 and 6/10. Or I could reduce that to 7 and 3/5.
Good.
The sum is 7 and 6/10.
Okay. So let's go back to our page, number 2. And you can see the answer on mine, but we're adding 2 and 7/8 plus 3 and 2/8 plus 1 and 1/8. Okay. We want to think, is there anything that I could put together there fraction-wise that's going to give me 8/8? Yash, what would I want to put together that might give me 8/8? Because if I get that, it'll make it really easy.
4/8 plus 4/8.
Well, I have a 7/8, I have a 2/8, and I have a 1/8. Can you see my whiteboard?
Yeah.
Okay. So which ones could I put together to give me 8/8? Just the fraction part.
7/8 and 1/8.
Good. So I'm going to put those two next to each other. 2 and 7/8 plus 1 and 1/8 plus 3 and 2/8. Okay? I'm going to put those next to each other. That's the commutative property. We changed the order. Yash said if we put these two next to each other, it should be easy because 7/8 plus 1/8 is 8/8, which is 1. Okay?
Mrs. Palmer,
Hang on a second.
I can't see what you wrote because you're kind of froze on my screen.
Oh, well, maybe if I stop presenting. Okay.
Okay, now I can see you.
All right. Yash, what is 2 and 7/8 plus 1 and 1/8?
Three or 4.
Yeah, it's 3 and 8/8. Good. And you said that equals 4. Okay. So just by Yash putting those next to each other, he could do that in his head. He said, oh, it's 4. Because he said in his head, 3 and 8/8. 3 and 8/8 equals 4.
I don't understand why they added so many parentheses. It just gets me confused.
Can it also be 7 2/8 or 7 1/4?
Yeah, I got 7 and 2/8.
Yeah. We just
Or 1/2.
Yep. We were waiting to move on to the next step for everyone to catch up.
Yeah.
I
There's 3 ways.
I
Wow.
have a question though. What good do the properties do when you're doing the fractions? You just do the parentheses first, and then you add on whatever is not in parentheses, and you're done.
Well, the property is really good, David N, because I don't want to add this first. 2 7/8 plus 3 2/8. That's going to give me 9/8. I know that's 1 1/8. It's going to be really, it's going to be much better to use the properties.
Yeah, normally I would just do the parentheses in column form, write it out, and then add on whatever's not in parentheses to get the answer.
Can everybody stop talking over themselves? It's kind of annoying.
Does that work?
Boys and girls, and Connor, I said this to you on Friday. I don't want you to unmute yourself to tell someone else to mute themselves. I want 10 of you to stay muted until it's your turn, or if you have a question and there's a pause and you could ask a question. I'm sure you guys understand that from having an hour and a half of class with Mrs. Wetzel every day. You can't all talk over each other. So I'm trying to explain something to David N. So I want you all to stay muted while I do that.
I find it more simple, however, to just do.
All right, David N., I don't want you to talk. I want to explain this to you.
Okay.
Okay. Normally, and as we get to algebra, we're going to do what's in parentheses first. That's our order of operations. Okay. But with these fractions, a lot of times we're going to want to be able to do mental math. Okay. Adding 2 7/8 and 3 2/8. When I add 7/8 and 2/8, I get 9/8. I understand that you can say in your head that's also 1 1/8 and like move on. But to do mental math, it makes it a lot easier if you can take your fractions to make it add up to 1. So it's easier to add 7/8 and 1/8, which is 8/8. That's going to give us 1. Basically, when Yash went through this, he did away with the fraction. He ended up with 4 there when he put these together. And adding 4 plus 3 2/8 together is really easy to do mentally when you have a whole number and you're adding a fraction.
Yeah, but the thing is, sure, it works more quickly when you're doing it mentally, but there's just so much more writing when you're just trying to explain it, though. That's the thing. And it's just more.
Yeah, there is more writing. As you move on, you don't have to write all of the steps. It's sort of just the way you do it. But we have to write it for now because this is the first year you guys are doing it. It's the first year that you're even looking at fractions because you're in 4th grade. So you have to write out the steps until you know how to do them.
I did it the way you did it, but I didn't write it all out. I just put in the answer.
Okay. All right. You guys have a page to do. And you're going to have problems like this. So we didn't get through too many practice ones. You'll have to look at the one practice that we did. And then I want you to do.
Can you put a video on?
439, numbers 2 through 8.
Mrs.
Okay.
Palmer, can you put a video on this?
Page 439, numbers. I can. I'll put a video on your Google Classroom.
I don't understand this. Why are there so many parentheses? Are they like dividing the fractions?
What's our homework, Miss Palmer?
They use the fractions to group things together that you want to work with together to make your problem easier. Right, Connor, if you look at the screen where Mrs. Palmer is.
Can we go now?
Yes, you may. Have a great day.
Okay.
Before everybody goes,
I have not left yet.
here you go.
Bye. Can I borrow your phone, please? No. Why?
Gavin, don't you have like your iPad?
They're selling the ancient Rome.
I'm staying on, guys.
This is your phone.
Guys, stop meeting. You want to play adventure?
Okay, see you guys.